Hi everyone, it's Melissa from Scrap That. Super excited to join you guys on the Volume Fall event and be able to share this really adorable fall 12 by 12 double page layout kit that we're going to do today. But let's start our day with our sale. So today we are offering 35% off actually through the 23rd for all of your purchases, excluding class kits that are going forward. So anything that we've done before and today will be on sale 35% off at scrap-that.myshopify.com. And all you will need to use is the code FALL2021. And again, it's valid through 10/23. I just want to point out we've rearranged our website a little bit. We've taken off most things except for our class kits because that's what we're focusing on. So the page kits and the card kits are all that you're going to find. But under where it says past classes are some new items that aren't actually classes that we've done. They're just kits that we have. So check them out. Make sure that you check them out because there's card kits and page kits that you've never seen before that will be under there that are on sale. So make sure you go to scrap-that.myshopify.com and use the code FALL2021 through 10/23 to get your 35% off. So we're super excited to be able to give you that sale. And I'm just going to adjust a little bit on my camera. There we go. So let's get started. And as you know, we've been focused this year on doing all of these simple kits by Simple Stories, and they feature either 12 by 12 double page layouts or card kits. So today we're doing from the Simple Vintage Harvest collection, we are doing the Autumn Harvest page kit. And this, everything that you need to complete these two 12 by 12 double page layouts are in this package. They come great package just like this. Included in there will be your two base 12 by 12 pages, as well as 3 sheets of die cut bits and pieces and 1 of the chipboard bits and pieces. And everything you need is in your kit, including what we've provided, which is, mine is well used, but 1/4 by 60 yard white tear tape. And this tape is great. So easy to use. It rips so easily. No effort involved in all at getting your tape off. The other things that I've used in my kit that we're going to do today is pop dots and foam tape. The foam tape is the only thing I think you would need a scissor for because you don't even need it for the kit. You can tear it, but it tears, but most of the time when you go to tear it, you get this kind of like stringy, gluey thing happening. So you might want to use scissors for that. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. So with your common cold, everyone seems to be getting now. So bear with me. So again, in your kit, you have everything that you would need and the tear tape. And the only additional things that you might want to add are pop dots, foam tape. And then today I'm using my glue stick and my black chalk writer, as well as the finger dauber. And those are the only things that I'm going to need to get us through this. So to start with, you have your directions. Let me set this aside for now. You have your double page directions that come in your kit, and you'll notice at the top of each set of directions, it gives you what pictures these layouts are for. So for instance, this page has 2 4x6 pictures on each page. So you'll have 4 4x6. And then on this one actually is a typo. It should be 4 3.5 by 5s, 3 on one and 1 on the other. A circle one, which you actually don't need to cut it into a circle, and then the 2 2.5 vertical ones in here. So that gives you exactly what this layout would look like. So if you don't want to use this size pictures, you can adjust your layouts accordingly. And then it will give you the step-by-step directions and what elements or what bits and pieces and chipboard bits and pieces are used on each one. So as I always say, I would go through it all first and then break it down and take out what you need for each layout, because you will find that at the end, you have a whole bunch of extra pieces. So these are all the extra items that are not used in these 2 layouts that come in your kit. So there's plenty of fun things, and when you go through it, you might want to switch out the apple for a pumpkin or something else, so you can go through and decide, you know what, I don't like that as much, and I like some things that are still in here, or I want to add them. So that's a great way to make sure that you go through it and check it all out before you go ahead and adhere everything down. So I'm going to show you one set that's complete, and then we're going to do another set together and see how far we get through everything. So I want to show you what classes are coming up as well. So here we have, I'm just going to stand up and see what you can see, make sure. Okay, I don't know that my camera actually gets both sides together, so I'm going to kind of just wing it here. So one side has the fall and the other side has the harvest, and that is your double page layout featuring the 4x6 photos. A large on the far side is a large journaling block, which is beautiful. And then we have a lot of these gorgeous fall elements with such gorgeous detail. Hopefully you can see all the beautiful detail and the butterflies and everything else, the leaves. And this one lends itself really well, this kit, to the distressing or antiquing technique that we're gonna do. As well as, I don't know if I mentioned, I have a sanding block also with me, because I wanna show you how to sand off some of the color on chipboard and things like that as well. So I'm gonna start with the other side of your kit. This is the Autumn is in the Air pages. We're gonna start with that. So let me grab them and show you which ones. We're gonna start with the circle side, which would be your left side first. So we're gonna start with this page. These are the two layouts for this one. And we're gonna start on this side first. So I'm gonna set the rest of my stuff aside and go ahead and start putting this one together. So I've already, like I said, gone through and pulled out all of the items that the directions tell you to use in this kit. And this to me is the easiest way to do it, just your regular kitchen bag. And I've already pre-taped and pop dotted everything just for sake of time. And then we're gonna go through it and assemble it together. So this is what the finished side looks like of this one. And then we're gonna start on it together. So you're gonna put your left side base down first, and we're gonna start with our two background border additions. And I'm gonna use my chalk writer to embellish some of these items. So let me pull out what we need for this. So I've gotten them all already separated and stored in my bag, and then we're going to pull out the ones that we need for this side. So for this one, so we have all these cute little chipboard and paper elements that we can add, and we're going to kind of jazz them up a little bit with our chalk writer. So if you haven't used the chalk writer before, they're super easy to use. They are smooth, kind of like a lipstick. Sorry, as I'm trying to pick that up, I give up. They're smooth like a lipstick. They're one-sided, and you just turn them, and they're creamy, kind of like a gelato. And I find that there's several ways you could use it directly on your paper, or you can use it on a dauber, a finger dauber, which I find is probably the easiest and cleanest way of doing it. So what I'm gonna do is just take some color and put it right onto my dauber, and then go ahead and distress the edges of my my elements. So these are the paper ones. So we're gonna go ahead and just put a little bit down on all the edges. I'm gonna do this before I go ahead and start assembling. So I'm just gonna do them all at one time for sake of ease. You'll notice too on some of these things, there are little kind of like nubs sticking up. So you can take the sanding block, there's two sides, one is a finer and one is a rougher side. You can take that and kind of rub it along the edges, and it will take away all of the little parts that are sticking up, so you don't see any of the little hang tags that were there for where it was attached to the papers before you popped them out. So you can just quickly run your file along that. More so on the chipboard ones. All right, so we're going to continue and add a little bit of color and antiquing just to our paper ones for now. And I'm going to do the inside and the outside of my photo frame. And then just run it along the outside edge. And just a quick, easy way, and it kind of helps you from getting too messy doing this. And again, you can use, we have other colors that you could use. There's an orange, metallic colors. Any colors will look great doing this. And also I find that when you're doing it for your little like additional border pieces onto your page, it helps distinguish that it's not a flat piece of paper, so that you can see there's some layers involved by giving them little edges. And I think I do this every time and say it all the time. Don't do what I do, which is right over the top of my paper. I'm doing it. So I kind of make a mess, but it's okay. So we're going to start on this side. You're using of the orange and the floral background or border sheets. You want the two smaller ones. 2 are full length and 2 are smaller length. So, all right. So now we're going to start assembling, and super fast. We're going to start with our floral border. And like I said, I've already taped it so that you don't have to watch me tape anything. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that your butterflies and flowers are facing the correct direction, and you're going to place that down just at the edge of the green line on your background paper. And then we're going to add our orange one, overlapping that one just a little bit. So let's go ahead and take the tape off of that. Right to the right edge, so that the left edge is where the diagonal side is, towards your left edge. Then we're going to go ahead and place down the autumn is in the air, the apple, and your two little journaling tags that you can use. So these I'm going to layer. And then the following one is the autumn is in the air, which I forgot to add my little chalking to. Let's do that real quick. Super easy and quick to do. Got some butterflies here. Okay, so now we're gonna do these in stages, and the first one is going to be the green is gonna go a little bit higher and onto my orange paper, and we're gonna lay that one flat as our first layer. So that one's gonna go right about here. And there's more precise measurements. I'm more of a wing it kind of person. So your directions have more precise measurements or direction. Then next to that one, we are going to pop up using our foam tape. Our foam tape, remember, is about half the height of our pop dots. So that's also a great way to stagger your elements. So we're gonna put that little off center of the green one. And then all the way to the edge, we're gonna add our apple. And we want that one to kind of be hidden under our autumn is in the air. So we're gonna place that down. Sometimes the tape is a little bit feisty, so I just need to pull off this piece. There we go. Sometimes your scissor or a poker is good for that. So we're gonna put that down. And then right in between that, we're gonna do our autumn is in the air. And that we're gonna use 500 pop dots. Look how many pop dots I did. All right, so let me quick pull all these pop dots off real fast while we continue on. So we're gonna place that down just in between our journaling blocks and our apple. And yeah, no one needs to use this many pop dots. It's all good in theory until you have to pull off the backs, right? All right, so let's place that down. Autumn is in the air, and that can go a little bit lower. Right? Now we have our photo frame or our border for our photo, or mat, I should say. Lost track of a word for a minute. So I'm going to put the edge on that one and place that down. And that is going to go about, just about right in this area. And again, if you don't want to use this size, you can totally change that up. And then to that, we are going to add our photo corners. And what I wanted to show you about the photo corners, which are not easy to pick up with nails, is that using your sanding block. So here's the photo corner, and you can see that there's a little bit of the edges and a little bit of the cardboard showing. And a way to get rid of that, or just to change it a little bit, is to take the grittier side of your sanding block and just run it across the edges. So you're getting rid of that little nub that's sticking out. And as well, you're taking away a little bit of the color that's on your cardboard, on your chipboard pieces. And that kind of gives it another element of distressing. So I quite like it like that. I'm going to show you this one compared to one that we didn't distress. So you have two different looks. So this kind of gives it that aged white look on the outside. And again, you can take your chalk writer and go through that as well if you want, and add a little, not that, add a little bit of color to it. So I'm going to quick do that just to these, just to make them all consistent, to the 4 that are going to go on this page. And again, something you should do, not over your project directly like I am. So let's go ahead, quick run these over here. And there's one more. So on this side, you're using 4 of your photo corners. On the other side, we're going to use more. And now I'm going to take my handy dandy favorite glue stick after I brush off my project and just run my, I love the size of this glue stick, so I'm just going to run my little photo corners right along the top of it, just like that, and then easy, just place them down right on the edges. Right? See how quick this comes together. So there we go. We're going to do all 4 of them. All right. So we have that. And then we have our round photo frame. And rather than get out my circle cutter and cut my picture, I am going to glue it directly onto the back and then trim it. So if this was my actual photo, I would make sure that it was lined up the way that I wanted it to be, so that what I wanted to see was within the circle. And then I'm going to grab my scissors and just a rough trim, because you know no one's going to see the back of it, so it's really irrelevant and doesn't need to be that neat. So we're just going to go around and do a rough trim right on the edge. Same on here, because no one will see what's on the back. So I don't need to worry about taking another tool with me or breaking out another tool and getting my circle cutter out, because I don't care what the back looks like, right? Ladies, just easier that way. There we go. So when you pick out your photo, you just line it up. I don't need to tell you guys all that fun information, but just, you know, no need to get out a circle trimmer for this. And then we're going to just go through and take our tear tape. And actually, I'm going to use our foam tape for this. So I want my scissor for that. So I'm going to take out a little bit of foam tape, put that right on the back. That's the little part that I pulled on. So that's what happens when you try to tear it, you get that little edge. So we're just going to take that and put it right down next to our 4x6 photo. And we will be almost done with this side. And that'll be pretty quick that we got it done, right? So we're going to place that down, overlapping just a little bit on our 4x6. And then we have our 4 B's that we're going to put down. So those we have just with pop dots. And again, you can embellish these if you want a little bit more, if you want to add some of the chalk to them, or if you want to just leave them the way that they are. Perfectly fine. So we're going to just put a few of these down, and we've completed 1/2 of our page already. These can kind of go anywhere. And that is completed exactly the way it's supposed to be in the directions. And again, if you want to change it up in any way of your own, perfectly fine to do that. And make sure that you can see all of it. So there we go. So that is one side complete. Pretty easy and quick to do. We did that in just a few minutes. And if you don't do the distressing part, it takes even less time. So for the second side, we're just going to assemble it and see how quick we can do that. So the second side has this really cool piece to it. that is one long piece. So this is a real quick and easy one to do. So let's take out all of our items and see how quick we have. About 10 minutes left. So let's see how quick we can get this done. We're not going to add anything extra. We're just going to do it as is and see how quick we can get it finished. So we're going to start the same way with our 2 background border stripes being placed down. I have everything paper clipped, so. And these 2 on this side are the full length, and we're going to make sure we turn our paper the right way. So these are pumpkins, making sure that the stems are facing up. We are going to start with our border for the bottom, the flower border first. We're going to start with that one. And then we are going to go ahead and, sorry, I'm working in like limited space. We are going to go ahead and put the flower border down and then the orange border down and see if we can get this done in just a few minutes, quick. So making sure that my butterflies and everything are facing the correct direction. I'm going to line that up with the green border on the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and put our orange border above that. And these, I just used regular tear tape. I didn't stagger them or layer them with any height. But I will show you the difference of what it looks like with and without the chalk writers, just so you can see a distressed version versus a non-distressed version. So next we have our 3.5 by 5 inch photos that we're just gonna put down, and they are gonna go just above your, or just at the edge of your orange below your plaid. So we're gonna put those down. I think the most tedious thing about this one is probably the photo corners, putting them down. There's that one, and then we have our final one. So let's put the final one down. Somehow these don't look like I cut them the same, so maybe I didn't. You know, if you ever watch me, it's always a project. It's always amusing. I joke around all the time. I'm like the Julia Child of crafting. Always a mistake, but you just cover it up and keep going. All right, so now we are going to put down our photo corners real easily using our giant glue stick. And we're going to do it on all of the corners. So that's just probably the most time consuming. So I might have to just cut that short. Want to make sure I get this one finished. So, but glue stick is probably the easiest way to do it, unless like I said, you want to break out other tools and like a Xyron and run them all through real quick together. That would probably speed it up. But for me, I'm trying to just show you that you can do these with limited tools. Like these kits are great for beginners. If you have a young person who's just starting out, just wants to start crafting with you, these kits are amazing for that because they have everything that you need and they make beautiful layouts and beautiful cards without really having to have any sort of you know, real creativity or crafting experience. You can get this done and, you can get this done and make a beautiful layout first time out without really having to think about it. And then it'll help you get yourself started on being able to put together beautiful layouts using these as guides and templates. So, and again, like I said, it's also just a guide. If you want to use other parts of the elements that weren't used in the directions, that would be a wonderful way to make everything individualized as well. So we are almost done with our little photo corners. Let's see if we can get this thing done in just a few minutes. All right, so photo corners down. That's probably the most time-consuming part. Now we have this great one giant piece of a die cut. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my foam tape for that. But we're also gonna add two 2.5 inch photos into here. Easiest way to do it, again, is just taking the glue stick, carefully running it along the edge of where the photo goes, and then gluing them down there. And this I would recommend, like I said, I always pre-tape so no one has to sit and watch me tape, but I would definitely recommend putting this down before you put your tape down, only because I kind of got in the way of it with the tape pieces. So again, 2.5 inch photos are gonna go in there. And then, perfect, look at that. This is such a gorgeous little element, and it takes up so much space, fills it up so quickly that, you know, it looks like such a beautiful layout with this one giant border. So we're gonna go ahead and pull our foam tape off. Perfect. Listen, I probably get it done quicker too if I didn't have to fight with the tape sometimes either. All right, I got it all. So we're just gonna take that and just lay it down above all of our little photos. And then we have 2 little butterflies that we can put down. I'm gonna put them right above here. And I'm using the Pop Dots just for some extra height on these. Look at how gorgeous this came out. And then if you wanted to go ahead and add your own title, you could. Gorgeous. So this is your one double page layout that we have. Autumn is in the air, and it came out absolutely gorgeous. Let me just look at my camera view and see what we got going on so you can see it. So here it is, double-sided, and this second page, without doing any extra work, took us about 4.5 minutes to assemble. So there you have it. So altogether, I probably took me with doing the chalking part, it took a little bit more than 10 minutes to get that one together. And then here is the, well, that's the same one. Here is the final version of the other side that you guys can go ahead and assemble on your own. So this is the Fall is in the Air, and Fall Harvest side, and it's gorgeous. The detail on these butterflies and flowers is just beautiful. And again, this is a chalked version, so it looks a little bit more distressed. And then if you can see, we took our sanding block and went through our hearts and took away a little bit of the color on that, which I think is gorgeous, and it just changes it up a little bit. And then here's the other side. You have this giant journaling block, which is beautiful, and these gorgeous elements that have such great detail. So this is such a great kit. Again, this one is for today, but you'll be able to find it under the past classes. And then I just want to give you a quick look at some other kits that are on the website right now. And then there's some that you will find on there that are going to be a surprise because we haven't used them in classes, but we are selling them. So we have this this Halloween one coming up, which does 2 beautiful Halloween layouts. These are great. Looking forward to this one. Has all of these, again, 3 pages of die cut bits and pieces to pop out, a chipboard, and 2 fun Halloween backgrounds. Then we also have coming up, let's see, we have a card kit, and I'm in love with this card kit. So this is under upcoming events, and this is also from the same collection that we've used today. This is the Autumn Harvest Wishes kit. So this also features the Simple Stories Harvest, Simple Vintage Harvest collection, and this will make 8 cards. 8 beautiful cards. Everything that you need is in there. Envelopes are not included, so just keep that in mind, but they're standard size. So we have that one. And then we have as well 2 holiday ones coming up to finish out our year. You are going to have that we will do for the volume event, and that one is these gorgeous, gorgeous cards. And this is the Simple Stories Vintage Christmas collection. And then we will also have the companion layout pages for that one as well. So that is using the same collection, and that is the vintage Christmas one, and this is called Magical Season. So these are the rest of our classes for the year, as well as the surprise kits and cards and page kits that you will find on the website now. And again, just a last minute reminder that you can shop for 35% off using the code FALL2021 at scrap-that www.myshopify.com. So again, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day crafting away, and a great weekend crafting with Volume. It's always fun, and we're super excited to still be here. So hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you soon. Thank you.